Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this amazing new episode of PMO Learning Series. I'm so happy you're here, and I want to know where you are watching from, where you are located. I myself am in Portugal right now, so maybe there's other people around here or in Europe. So please let us know, and I can, shout out your name. So keep it coming, the comments. Today is packed with goodies for you because we at PMO Global Institute, we're here to help you, to provide you with resources to help you succeed in your profession and in your future. So today we have an amazing guest. We have insights from our COO. We have prizes to win. There we go. It's coming in. Now I can see it. We have Mariana from Slovenia. We have Fred from Ghana. I will shout you out, and I am going to not make you wait in the meantime because I have an amazing guest that I would like to introduce to you. And before I bring her on, I'm going to bring her on actually. Let me show you who is coming up. This is Angela Sirbu, and I will present her to you in a moment. But I do want to introduce her, and so you know. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it because it's so much that she's going to offer, and she's so knowledgeable. So Angela is going to talk about our topic of today. And our topic of today is essential functions of a PMO in a modern world. So get ready for that. Angela Sirbu is an authorized business partner of a PMO Global Institute, and she's a PMO. She is the founder and CEO of the company pmforsuccess.net. And she's also working as a senior program manager, national consultant for the government of the Republic of Moldova. And she's collaborating with the prestigious organizations like WHO, WB, USET, etc. Now, as an accredited business partner of PMO Global Institute and a PMO consultant, holding a degree in multiple dimensions, she led diverse projects in diversified industries such as telco, IT, ERP implementation, and so on. And I also know that she loves traveling just like me. So without further ado, let me put her on. Welcome, Angela. Welcome. How are you?
Welcome, everybody, and thank you, Rachel, for a very nice presentation. Really honored. I was surprised, and I never knew that. Oh my God, I'm so good on that. Thank you so much for joining today's session. I'm pretty well. What about you?
I am amazing. I'm excited, actually. I have a series of questions for you that I want to get into, if that's okay with you. And you also have a presentation ready for us. But
Right.
before I dive into the questions, I just want to mention a few more people that are coming on. Just so you know, there are people from all around the world, which is so amazing with this LinkedIn event. So we have Carlos from Bolivia. We have Malaysia, no name there. Arun, Mariana, let's see who else. Florida, USA, Malaysia. Let's see. Yeah, this is amazing, Angela. So, okay, let me fire you with some questions, actually, because I can't wait to dive into this topic of, essential functions of a PMO. And so, before we really dive into the details, tell us a little bit more about yourself, please.
I'm based in the Republic of Moldova. My country is based between Romania and Ukraine. It's not far from, let's say, the border of the war. I'm experienced PMO specializing in project and program management. As you mentioned, I hold an MBA degree, and I have a lot of experience in stakeholder management, in budget management, and change management. Besides this, I'm also mentoring aspiring project management professionals, fostering growth and leadership. What I would like to say about me is that actually I love to travel. Besides this, to fly. This is amazing. There's only like that you can feel the difference and that the God exists actually.
Wow, amazing. So yeah, for sure, we're talking to the right person here about, the topic and the essentials of a PMO in a modern world. So, Angela, a lot of people think that there's this kind of universal checklist, right? That covers all of the functions and the responsibilities of a PMO. So what's your opinion on that?
Well, basically, the concept of an universal checklist for the project management offices may seem convenient, but it's not so practical. Here's why. Every organization has unique goal and culture. Makes a one size fits the checklist insufficient and inefficient. Projects vary from one complexity to another, from simple tasks to complex endeavors. It requires customized actual approaches. Therefore, a single one checklist is not so useful. The maturity level of an organization project management affects the PMO's actual structure, which a static checklist will not be a good idea and will not accommodate actual their needs. Organizations operates in a dynamic environment, necessitating flexibility that a rigid checklist will lack, right? And in conclusion, a tailored approach based on the organization's specific needs is essential for an effective PMO. Uh, this needs to be tailored and customized based on their actual maturity and project, let's say, complexity.
Hmm. Interesting, really interesting. Thank you. By the way, if anybody has questions for Angela, other questions, then please type it in the comments as well, because we're gonna take some questions as well after we fire some more questions that we have in store here. So, Angela, can you tell us how we define and select the functions of a new PMO?
It's very interesting questions. Integrating new functions for an existing PMO, it should be aligned also with the specific roadmap. And here, the PMO Global Institute methodology demands through planning and execution. It means that we'll guide and will lead you faster and easier, not so painful to add those new functionalities. First, assess the current state, how it should be done. Review the current methodologies that you are using and identify the gaps for the improvement. Second, define the new functions, what actually you need to do and what you want to do. Ensure that those functions are fully aligned with organizational goals and articulate with the objectives and their benefits. Third, engage the stakeholders. Engaging the stakeholders, this is one of the most important functions. Otherwise, you will fail. Why? Because you should gain uh, the sponsors buy-in, the upper management buy-in, and that's why you have the successful PMO. Develop implementation plan. Without any plan, you will not succeed. Well, you should create a roadmap with a timeline, resources, and training needs. Without training people, you will not also deliver valuable results to your company. The last but not the least, you should also monitor and audit, establishing sufficient, clearly performance metrics and continuously improve they're based on the feedback. This is, let's say, my recommendation. The strategic processes ensure successful integration while maintaining alignment with organizational goals and industry standards. This is the most easiest way just to set up, let's say, and to add new features, new functionalities to your existing PMO.
Interesting. Really interesting. Thank you. So the next question is, how do you add new functions when you already have an existing PMO that's already operating?
how should come again? How should you add new functions? But
Yeah.
already I set up that adding a new functions, you should have the engagement of the stakeholders. You should create the planning and the roadmap, and also you should evaluate your performance, meaning set up clear metrics in order you to evaluate based on the feedback of all the engaged stakeholders.
Mm. Yeah, I think asking the feedback really matters as well, for sure, for sure.
Yes, based on the feedback, actually, you can improve not only your metrics, but all the processes. Because according to all the processes and according to all the standards and the best practices, the feedback count very well. And in the retrospectives, you can change, let's say, the way you did the previous, and you implement something, and later on to improve the processes. But attention, as a PMO, you should do only with all the stakeholders, engaged stakeholders. This is one of the most important criteria. You should do not alone. This is not a single person or a single one-man show, right?
Yeah, no, no, no. There's always more people. That's for sure. Talking about people, I'm just looking at, we have people from Bangladesh, we have India in the house, Abdullah from London, Nigeria. Wow. Yeah, I think it's fantastic, to have so many people around the world. Okay, Angela, I have about two, three more questions for you. So, when evaluating the functions of a PMO, what criteria or metrics do you use to determine their importance or their effectiveness?
Well, actually, based on, let's say, the PMO Global Institute framework, we have some approaches, a comprehensive approaches, and the criteria are the following: strategic alignment, measure alignment with organizational goal, and the PMO maturity level. This is one of the most important criteria. Value delivery, track actually all project success rates and ROI in order to assess the PMO contribution. Because this is, let's say, one indicator that actually leads the business continuity ROI, right? Efficiency and process improvement, evaluate resource utilization and process efficiency metrics. Well, one of the most important also, and the contribution of the PMO is to guide how better to utilize the resources. And we are talking not about only human resources, but in general, right? Another metric is the stakeholder satisfaction. Well, the satisfaction through surveys and change adoption rate. When you are very flexible in changing and adapting changes, this will sufficiently lead the satisfaction and grow the satisfaction of your stakeholders. Innovation and adaptability, measure innovation in practices and adaptability in change. Well, in this case, you should come and encourage the innovation, the guys from your team to come with the innovative ideas. Compliance and risk measurement, ensure that the compliance with standards, either local, internal in the company, and external, which are regulatory, maybe from imposed by law, are fully complied. And effectiveness in risk management. That's all.
Wow, it's so interesting. I'm learning. I'm learning. I hope everybody's that is listening is learning as well. I bet you are. And if you have any more questions, then please type it in the comments. But I do have a few more questions. So, Angela, which PMO functions are mandatory to ensure the project governance and compliance?
Well, not so many, a few of them, but they are mandatory to be in place.
Okay.
Governance framework establishment, setting standards align actually with organizational governments, with their strategic goals and also their objectives. Methodology standardization, implementing standardized project management methodologies. Well, here a lot of companies or a lot of rumors are saying this methodology is the best and not the best. From my experience, is that each PMO, each project should have its own, let's say, actually each company should have its own methodology. Why? Because as its unique culture, its unique environment, and for sure the personnel. Therefore, it should design their unique methodology of the implementation. Risk management, identifying, assessing, and mitigating the project management risk, project risk. Actually, compliance and regulatory oversight, monitoring and ensuring that our internal policies are fully compliant and external regulatories are respected, because otherwise you can be shut out. I mean, you can be closed and your business can fail in case if you are not fully comply with the imposed regulatory. And the stakeholder engagement and communication, as I mentioned before, because this is one of the most important also pillar in all the project management. Doesn't matter the PMO and project governance. The stakeholder engagement and communication with them is the, as I mentioned, the pillar of the success. Resource and capacity management. A lot of companies facing huge problems in managing capacity due to the fact that they don't have any, visibility in planning. Therefore, what we are proposing by implementing the PMO Global Institute framework is optimizing resource allocation and capacity planning correctly. Capacity planning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this going to actually managing complex project. We should fully comply with the government standards, reducing thus we will reduce the risk, and we enhance the success rate.
It will enhance the success rates, that's for sure. Yeah. I'm curious. Let us know in the comments, like if this is helpful to you. Then just type in yes. I'd love to see some yeses there. So, Angela, let's talk about some strategies that the PMOs, watching and listening here, can employ to continuously assess and refine their functions to adapt to a changing organizational needs and the project dynamics.
Very interesting question. Actually, it's very actual. In today's dynamic environment, the project management offices must adapt to evolving needs and the project dynamics to deliver actually the value effectively. Uh, Here are some strategies that PMO can employ. Implement agile practices for flexibility and responsiveness. Establish a feedback mechanism to gather insights refinement, as I said, lesson learned and what to do best and what to improve and so on and so forth. Focus on continuous learning and development of staff growth. As I mentioned, the personnel improvement knowledge of your personnel should be also one of your target for the future improvement and credibility of your company, right? Utilize actually the PMO maturity model for targeted improvements, monitor performance with your KPI, and adjust as needed, because all the time the KPIs are not so good, let's say, established, or later you can see that you should improve and change them, right? Conduct strategic alignment review to ensure that PMO objectives align with your organizational goals. Another one, it should be adapt governance and methodologies to fit the project requirement. Not the last but not the least, right? Implement the change management. Well, the change management is very difficult, and it's not so difficult to implement, but it's difficult to perceive by different persons inside the company because they are resilience to change. Therefore, you should communicate. And this is, again, we are stick to communication with your stakeholders, a good communication between the stakeholders.
Communication is always important. Always, always,
Great.
always. In so many areas in our lives. Yeah, I love talking about
Actually,
communication.
this is a pain point to even in our personal life. Sometimes when you are fail to talk or to communicate something, you'll fail to,
Yeah, yeah,
in
totally.
everything, right?
Totally. Absolutely, yeah. In business and in personal life, yeah, for sure. It's crucial. So yeah. Okay, I have a final question for you, and it's related to where you live. You know, you're living in Moldova, so I'm really curious if there are any PMO practices on the rise where you are in your country. You know, what's your observation, your experiences?
Well, very good question. Actually, yes, we do have PMOs established in the Republic of Moldova. As far as we have a lot of international companies here established. But if we are talking about the governmental level, yes, there are a few of them. And I would like to say that MIA, Ministry of Interior Affairs, they have a very good PMO manager and established with the good processes, functions. Well, actually, they are facing some challenges like resource limitation, like initiatives. Their initiatives are not so well seen, but nevertheless, they are very supported by the upper management and by our international partners. Why and how? I'll tell you in a few words. First of all, due to the fact that we have on the border the war with Ukraine, a lot of refugees came here in Moldova, and taking care of all the refugees, it was challenging. Therefore, they succeeded by mobilizing all the forces and all the structures subordinated authorities, but with the help of with our partners, international partners. What I would like to say that sometimes the resource limitation might be bypassed only in case if you have actually, as I said, good communication, good approaches, and the fundamental um, let's say not just analysis but the arguments to your donors that guys look, we have this and that and the coming that we have a strategy and our objectives and goals, and then they will support you. Besides that, for sure we are looking to establish at the governmental level the PMO in order to manage all transdimensional. I guess this is the term, transdimensional through industries, and to gain all the experience and expertise over there, and to have the project success rate more than 70, because now the success rate is less due to different incompetencies and that our personnel are not so well trained. But we're struggling and we're working on in this field.
Wow, thanks for sharing that. Thank you so much. Very interesting. And I, you know, people are finding it really helpful too. So I'm reading in the comments as well, and I see some questions coming up as well. But I'm gonna give the stage to you because you did prepare a presentation. So I'm gonna share that right now, and all you'll need to do is just tell me, you know, next slide, and I'll just move to the next slide for you. So go ahead, Angela.
Okay. Okay, my topic for today, for this PMO Learning Series, is essential functions of a PMO in a modern world. Okay, next. I guess I don't need any introduction as far as we have discussed already, and you can connect me and find in LinkedIn and just ping me. We can discuss more about how to establish a PMO and how the functions, to define the functions for your specific country or for your specific area, business area. Next. As you know, the PMO Global Institute has 4 layers. One is the foundation layer, another is the executive implementing layer, another is supporting, and the fourth is actually leadership and the governance layer. Now we are talking about the third layer, supportive layer, and one of the function is one of the process analyze and define PMO functions. Next. Okay, imagine PMO as a backbone tailor of an organization, each crafting a unique fit for their respective company strategy, culture, and project cleanup. No of direct solutions here. Within the PMO Global Institute mapping head, we are not just an explorers discovering new continents, but more like tourists with a GPS trying to navigate through the city of optimized project management, aligning our PMO with organizational goals in our guests, as there might office break down silos and boost collaboration, turning lone wolves into a team player. Next. Actually, let's talk about how within some of the PMO functions, we will dive to success. Without them, we cannot actually deliver successfully projects. And again, each company's primary objective is the profit, right? And in our case, the PMOs comes also to increase the company success rate of the project implementation, of the delivery functions successfully by implementing successfully projects and increasing their visibility. Next. Okay. At the heart, these are the most important in the modern world. We will dive into each more detail. Strategic alignment. Rachel, can you pass next, please? Okay. Strategic alignment and governance. At the heart of the PMO is pulsing need to align the projects with strategic corporate goals. Think Cupid, but without the arrows. He shoot project charters. Governance isn't just about welding a big stick. It's about steering a ship away from icebergs and into clear waters. Research suggests that a 27% bump in project success rates, a high strategic alignment, proving that while governance may get a bad red as a red tape, it's really the ribbon that ties everything together. Well, project execution and performance management, here where the PMO turns into a master chef, keeping all parts of the meal, project cooking on the right burners. Efficient project management can increase complete rates by up to 35%. It's a culinary ballet, ensuring everything from the timing, it is souffle raising, to resource allocation, who's chopping the onion, who is doing what, and when is on mind, allowing projects to not just their marks, but do a victory dance awards. Next. And in next slide, we'll discuss about actually the resource management and its optimization. As you can see here, when we are talking about the project management, the PMO functions, we should know how to use effectively, efficiently, and economically our resources. Well, in our PMO was a character, if our PMO was a character in a video game, then the resource management will be a special movie. Juggling resources across the project is like playing Tetris on a hard mode, but mastering this can boost resource utilization by to 30%, turning potential house into a symphony of efficiency. It's less about spinning plates and about ensuring each plate arrives perfectly timed and executed. Next, capability development and knowledge sharing, another PMO function. Next. Last but not least, if our PMO acts as a page of an organization, fostering a dojo where project management skills are honored, with a 20% reduction in a project failure from dedication professional development. It's clear that a well-trained team isn't a nice to have, it's true and it's must to have. This isn't just about passing exams, it's about turning knowledge into project powers and passing on a wizardry of wisdom. By the way, when talking about the knowledge sharing, again, we are not facing or we're not targeting to gain and to obtain just the certification. We should understand actually how it works and to share the best practices, because otherwise the lesson learned are not efficient done. I'll tell you why. In case the company ignores the lesson learned sessions, retrospectives, because now we are talking about agile PMO, and in agile PMO we have retrospectives. In this case, if the company ignores the output of sessions, in this case, I'll tell you what, the company will not evolve. The same mistakes, the same issues might occur in the next project for the next period of time. The same people will be frustrated, the teams will be demotivated, and who are gonna lose everything? I mean, the project will not succeed. The company, right? The management. In this case, all the lessons learned and the knowledge sharing are encouraged, because otherwise it is not sufficient wise to use resources that you are handling and you are managing. Next. Well, here we have actually the challenges that might give us headaches, right? Challenges, the biggest challenge is the cultural resistance, how we can address, discuss with them, but actually the most important is, again, communication, stakeholder engagement. Doesn't matter who is in front of you, you should discuss and you should demonstrate an argument that the beneficiary of the PMO implementation. Do not forget that each time the PMO for the implementation, actually the technology implement the software. Why? To track, to improve your processes, and actually to have efficiency and scalability of your teams. Do not forget also about the technology or gives us only gains. Thank you. Next. Well, let's talk about some key agile techniques. As far as I just came from London from an amazing training of agile PMO, how to establish and the key functions of that. Due to the fact now that we have here the session of defining essential functions and the key agile techniques, how to use. Here are listed a few of them. I'll let's say explain just a part of them, but for more information and for detailed dive in on those techniques, just ping me and let's discuss in a separate session. The most, let's say, famous technique is Moscow. As you know, it must, how it's the description, the abbreviation, how to describe. M from must, S from should, C from could, and we wouldn't, and or want. From the beginning, this means that when you are using this technique, doesn't matter for defining the functions or defining, addressing the backlog, prioritizing your projects, you can use this technique. It's very useful and very easy to do. When you're saying must, it's mandatory. Without those functions, without those user stories, you cannot live. Let's say live, right? Could or sorry, should, it means that it's okay, but it's the next stage. It's supplementary. Could is nice to have. This nice to have you can target in the nearest future, but you should not drop them from the list. Leave it there. When you have time, when you have resources, when your maturity level will come to the level sufficient degree, let's say, you'll come with that and you'll implement. And what you'll not do. There are some functions that doesn't matter of the region, the companies will not implement that. And which will be from your point of view? For sure, it's bribery, it's some other let's say, illegal actions that will not help your company and will not help your actually project to evolve and succeed. I would like to say about another technique is cost of delay. Have you ever seen or have you ever thought how much will cost actually if you'll delay or somebody will delay to deliver to you, right? Here in the PMO Global Institute, we have a formula where we're calculating this cost of delay. This is very interesting, by the way, because this will give you a clear picture how you can handle your risks and how you can handle in the future your actual delivery and engagement of the teams and of the stakeholders. Next. We have here a few takeaways how to establish, in order to establish actually the core functions of the PMO, you should establish first a clear, robust mission statement of your PMO. It should be clearly aligned with your with the strategic vision and mission of your company. You should implement the PMO functions based on their priority and potential impact. You should evaluate the impact with your subject matter experts inside the company in case if you want to faster and faster the PMO and deliver actually the successful projects. Do not forget to utilize the technology to streamline actually the PMO processes actively again, and I'll say again and again, actively involve all your stakeholders. By the way, how about stakeholders management? You should actually make the analysis of your stakeholders before, right? And all the time review it and update it, right? Because the stakeholders should be managed correctly. Sometimes one of them can be ignored, but the others can be kept very closely. And focus on managing cultural changes. Cultural change is not only culture as an environment, but also as a mindset. If we're implementing PMO Agile, then we should focus on what we will deliver, and we should have our mindset already agile. Okay, thank you. Thank you, dears. And questions?
Thank you, Angela. Yes, there are some questions for sure. So let me put those up right now. Let's see, who was the first one here? Here we go. How does a PMO help in managing risks and uncertainties within projects?
Well, thank you, Arif. Nice to see you here. And welcome to this specific core, let's say, lesson. Well, PMO helps by implementing sufficient, clear roadmap and strategies in order to manage the risks. You should have the clear picture how you will manage. And first, registries. Second, you should have the activities within the team. And not the last but not the least, evaluate their impact.
Thank you. Next question. One of the things I have always been looking for setting up the measurements in terms of KPIs and metrics of PMO's function success. Prashant.
One of the things that I heard. Okay. Okay, for me it's difficult. If I'm misspelling, please excuse me. Well, come to our course and you will understand the differences and the terms of the KPI and metrics. Here we are talking about the functions. Yes, we will discuss how you measure their performance and the success factors. I do understand that I will not explain the course, or let's say the.
We don't have time.
Yes, we don't have time, but come, try to. I don't know. It doesn't matter that I'll be or other guys approach the PMO Global Institute and learn more.
Perfect. Okay, this is a long question, but I'm sure the answer is not that long. Fred is asking, how can a PMO go about realigning and functioning effectively when there is a clear misalignment between the stated PMO functions and organizational management culture?
Well, Fred, it's a great question because this is a challenge when establishing a PMO. And how you should, let's say, how you should solve this situation is how we did, for example. It's just to train your upper management. Train them, they to understand what is the importance, how the PMO should and is helping actually the organization in order to attain and obtain the needed strategic objectives. And in this case, believe me, they will understand you, and later on, they will support you. Only like this. But it doesn't matter, and it doesn't mean that you will make an extensive training for them, because this is not worth, and they'll be very bored. Just key points, and with some statistics. Upper management, they understand only statistics and the reg implementation, meaning red, yellow, and green, when you are saying that this will give you the opportunity to see the visibility of your projects and your resources and the progress, right? But again, only with training them. Just like this, you'll succeed to foster and to improve your communication between the upper management and the PMO. Because otherwise they will not understand, believe me.
Thank you, Angela. Okay, I'll make just one quick one, last one. And I just want to mention, though, if people have more questions, I would encourage them to write it in the comments. And then maybe, Angela, you can take a look at LinkedIn later on or in the coming days if you can help out a bit more. Because sometimes people watch a replay and they have some questions. So I do want to say, like, please keep typing in your comments or questions, and then we can take a look at that. So, but I will take just one more before an exciting section is coming up. So stay tuned. Just one more here. A well-established PMO improves business resilience. What are your thoughts, Angela?
Yes, totally agree. This will help actually the business to evolve. Again, I'm coming back and I'm saying a well-established PMO means well-managed resources. And in this case, when you have well-managed resources, you saw the statistics shows that more than 30% the company's success stories are increased. I mean, the projects are delivered with success. Yes, totally agree.
Perfect. Good. So we have a new section, and I am going to introduce, let me just hide this comment here. I'm going to introduce our COO, who is Miss Novara Noor. So stay tuned for this new section. And it's called Executive Insights with our COO. Hello, Miss Noor.
Hi,
How are
Rachel.
you?
Good to see you. How are you, Rachel? And good to see you as well, Angela. How's everything going?
Thanks, good. So far, so good.
Thank you so much for having me here, Rachel. I was actually, listening to Angela and her insightful discussions, and it is really indeed a pleasure for me to be here and share my a bit of 2 cents, and share the session with Angela.
I'm
Yes,
gonna hand the stage to you. I'm just gonna remove myself. So take it away. Take it away.
sure. Thanks so much. So, Angela, first of all, you just went to the Agile PMO session in London. So, how was your Agile PMO learning experience over there?
It was very great. First of all, I met a lot of interesting people. I met
Hmm.
Abdullah, and also I met, let's say, the best practitioners from all the way in the world. And it was insightful.
Excellent,
Very
excellent,
interesting, very interesting session and very insightful.
excellent. So let me just ask you a couple of other questions, which is not at all related to Agile PMO or PMO at all. So, what was your last searched topic on your browser?
Oh, last session. If to say today, then it's very difficult. Let me just recall it, because I was looking to one. Yes. Unfortunately, this is not linked to PMO. It was how actually to export something from the Azure, because I'm also acting as a PM besides
Mm-hmm.
that, and I need something to do, and that's why continuous learning.
Okay, I
Continuous
thought you would.
improving my knowledges, because no one can knows everything by once, and for sure internet is helping you, and searching engines is helping you to boost your knowledges and improve your knowledges. Right.
Thank goodness you didn't say that it was something related to food.
And now.
I, being a foodie, I thought like you would say that the last search option is related to food. Anyways, my second question to you would be, what is your favorite food? See, I didn't want to lose this opportunity to, ask these questions to you because we don't get to
Okay,
talk to
okay.
each other like this.
Well, may I list the entire list?
Okay, the
Because
most
it depends.
favorite one. The most favorite
because
one.
because it depends on the weather, on not the weather, but the part of the year. For example, in summer I like ice cream, right? In autumn, when it's cold here and it's very nice, very beautiful autumn in Moldova, we have uh, latte, but this is not food. Latte with chocolate, let's say like this.
Okay.
But seriously, I like, as a normal person, meat with salad, well done meat.
Okay,
Uh,
that's great. So I believe when if I get an opportunity to go to Moldova, and you will actually take me to all the famous ice cream parlors, and we will get to have together.
Yes, not just this. I know that, let's say, some persons over here, they're not wine drinker, but in Moldova we have the most, let's say, famous sellers in the world. One
Hmm.
of them is in Guinness Book. That's why welcome
Wow.
to Moldova, and believe me, you'll have very funny and fun time here. We have a
Sure,
lot of,
sure.
it's a small country, it's not so big, but a lot of places to see.
Sure, sure. I'll definitely, keep it in my to-do list. So now, let us go back to the discussion of the PMO. So I was actually listening to you, and you have certainly shared a lot of insightful, insights in how the essential PMO functions are, can be defined, and what are the essential PMO functions in today's modern world. Now, since you are closely working with the government of Moldova, and so my next question to you would be: have you ever observed any kind of difference in how the essential PMO functions are defined in private and the public sector in Moldova? Is there any difference?
Well, basically, not so many, but it might be the situation that for governmental ones are cut it somehow,
Hmm.
due to the fact that some of them, they are not really implementing, just only monitoring the implementation of the projects.
Hmm.
Therefore, let's say, it depends on the maturity level as well, right? In case if the company, if we're talking about the company, they
Hmm.
are not so well initiated in the project management, project management offices, then they are not, maybe they have fewer, let's say, functions, even the government one. That's why it depends on the culture of the
Hmm.
organizational culture inside, of the awareness of the people over there, because implementing the PMO is not just a cost center as they are thinking of, but is actually the beneficiary one. And our objective is, and target is to show that implementing the PMO will definitely give them advantages and the sufficient, let's say, increases of their project success.
Great, great. So you have worked in different kinds of PMOs as well, be it directive or supportive, right? I believe
Yes.
because you have got extensive experience in the PMO space. So, based on your versatile experience working in different types of PMOs, have you ever noticed any significant difference in how the essential PMOs, functions are defined in different kinds of PMOs?
Well, basically, if to say about the different areas of economy, yes, they are struggling. It depends on again governance. Again, about depends on the maturity, and I'll stick again to awareness because
Mm-hmm.
it might be different and it might be similar. And again, magic pills doesn't exist. You cannot copy paste the functions from one PMO and apply to another PMO because this will not work. And this should be tailored to each one independently and separately. In this case, what I will suggest only to again to make maturity level assessment and based on that to make actually and dive into what functions you should do, but
Mm-hmm.
not without discussing with subject matter experts with the centers of performance and excellence inside the companies. They will be, let's say, the supportive team on implementing a new PMO and drafting, let's say, their functions.
So it's more of like depends on what stage it is in, and depending on that, you're saying that the critical functions can be defined. Is that correct, Angela?
Yes, correct. It depends on their maturity level, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So, what kind of challenges do you usually face while defining the essential functions, of a PMO? Because I believe you have been working as a consultant for quite some time. So, nowadays we have very competitive and complex business environment. So, I would like to hear from you. What kind of different challenges do you usually face?
Well, the most critical, as it was, by the way, here was mentioned, aligning with strategic goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Adapting to organizational culture, because those resource allocation, this is classic issue, and
Yeah.
stakeholder engagement, the same. Well, basically, aligning with strategic goals, we should somehow, you know, it's crucial, and we need to align our PMO functions with company strategic goals, which is not always done. Unfortunately, either one is failing, I mean the PMO, either the company is failing because they want something, but they don't know how to reach there or to get there. And the PMO is helping basically to realize, to implement the strategic goals. In this case, you should somehow be a friend, with your, let's say, upper management and be in line with them and adapt everything just to fulfill and implement the strategic goals.
Great, great, great. So my last question to you would be, Angela, would you like to share your plans? Because you just mentioned about the resource issue which the PMOs are facing, right? So would you like to share your plans for your upcoming training batches? I mean, what is the path that, or what is the path that PMOGI has defined, or you as a authorized business partner has defined, like the CPMO or Agile PMO and CBPMO as well.
Well, if to talk about my plans, I'm
Mm-hmm.
planning to have some offline sessions and online session as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Within, if I'm not mistaken, 2-3 months, because I need to analyze and everything to be more deep understand by me for the agile PMO.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I will need a few, let's say, period of time to better realize how it should be fitted. But in the nearest future, yes, a few workshops it might be will be also organized, and the course as well. Keep tuned and follow me on LinkedIn, and just connect and see what is coming next.
Great. So I believe you will be offering at least CAPMO and CBPMO batches in near future, right? In a month or two?
In 1 month, if we're talking about online, yes, we in 2 months. If we're
Okay.
talking about offline, it's within 1 month. And it will be in Romanian locally here, because I have some already persons that are waiting for that. I told them that I'm coming from London and I will bring new ideas, new, fresh, let's say, hints.
Perspectives.
Yes, perspectives, and I'll share with you. And that's why I postponed it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure meeting you again here, Angela, and hearing your insights about all the critical aspects of the essential PMO functions. Thanks so much. Rachel, over to you.
Thank you, ladies. I'm going to say goodbye to you, remove you from the scenery, but you can stay in the comments and in the chat, but have a really, really nice day. Let's see, because we are moving on to the PMO news. The PMO news. PMOs play an important role in governance and innovation, but require thoughtful implementation. To discover strategies for implementing the PMO guidebook effectively across various industries and enterprises, refer to this article available on Benzinga, and you will find the link in the comments. Career news. So according to the reported salary in a PMO salary survey 2023, the annual median salary in the project management office sector in Italy stands at $61,842 US. And this is the best section of all. Well, it's not the best section. It's one of the sections that we love, because it's all about you being able to win a prize. You can win a gift, and all you need to do is fill in the survey, click the link that you will find in the comments, and you can win. You can enter the drawing by doing so and win a gift voucher of $89 for the PMO Global Paid membership and the PMO guidebook. And we're not picking just one winner, we're picking 3 winners. So don't miss it, okay? Don't miss it and participate. Now, I do want to know what your biggest takeaway was. I do want to continue reading your comments, so keep them coming. If you have more questions, if you have comments, what are your takeaways? Did you enjoy this? Do you want more of this? Because we are really here to help you succeed and thrive in your business, in your profession. So do remember that PMO Learning is available to all the project professionals worldwide through certification and interviews and knowledge sharing. So you can join for free at the PMOglobalinstitute.org. Please keep the comments coming. I'm so happy you were here today. Thank you for everyone commenting, asking questions. Thank you to our COO, to Angela. Thank you so much to everyone, and I will see you in the next episode.